Good morning, Tigers, and welcome back to the world's greatest elementary school. We are officially into spring now, and this is the last week of March. How is that possible? Tigers, there is a lot going on at Shadow Lake over these next 2 weeks before spring break. But before we get into that, we want to celebrate a few things that have taken place over the last few weeks. Our 4th grade classes, under the direction of Mrs. Moore, put on an amazing concert called our Recorder Journey 2 weeks ago. And just this last Thursday, our 3rd grade classes presented their evening concert called Lights, Camera, Action. Both of these grade levels did an amazing job. Special thanks to all of the teachers and staff that were there to support these grade levels, and a very special thank you and congratulations to Mrs. Moore for all that went into planning and leading these concerts. Check out these pictures from both shows.
Way to go, 3rd and 4th graders. Now, 2nd graders, your show evening concert is coming up next Tuesday, April 4th. We are looking forward to that. Now, Tigers, don't forget that we need you to still be collecting and turning in all of your Fun Run pledge money. To be eligible for the prizes, all of your money needs to be turned in by this Friday, March 31st. All of the money that you have earned goes to support our PTA and all the cool and fun activities and programs that they put on for us. And we have a lot of great activities coming up this spring, like next week's book fair, Missoula Children's Theater, the Celebration of Learning with the Science Fair and the Culture Share. There's going to be a carnival and a basket raffle. So many great events. And those are just some of the things that the PTA does and why we need to all work to get all of our pledges in. After this Friday, PTA will tabulate all of the pledges that came in. They'll get your prizes ordered, and they're going to determine our grade level winners.
Oh, you just heard Mr. Abby say that next week PTA is putting on our spring book fair. Each of your classes will have the opportunity to visit the book fair. There is a ton of information that has gone out in both the PTA newsletter and Tiger Family News. So talk to your families about setting up your Scholastic e-wallet or shopping online. I'm so looking forward to seeing all of the new books next week at the book fair. You can never go wrong with the book fair.
I love the smell of the book fair, all the new books, it's so great. Hey Tigers, on Saturday, April 1st, that's this Saturday, our PTA is hosting a work party right here on our Shadow Lake campus for your whole family. We are going to be working on getting the nature trail ready for all your classes to use this spring. And there are also some other projects around our Shadow Lake campus, like our planting beds. So bring your gloves, your whole family. Come from 9 to 11 this Saturday, April 1st, to keep our campus looking great.
All right, Tigers, like I said, this is the last week of March, which means it's time to celebrate our March Students of the Month for showing this trait of being a strategic problem solver. Staff will be awarding certificates over the next few days, and on Wednesday, we'll call all of our Students of the Month down to the courtyard with your certificates to have your picture taken. We'll show those pictures next week on Tiger TV and introduce the April trait as well.
All right. Just like you heard, since we are ending March and going into April, that means your pause reading logs are going to be due on Monday, April 3rd. So make sure you get all those last few days filled in, get those logs turned in to earn your prizes, and then on Saturday, start logging for the month of April. Keep on reading, Tigers.
Most definitely. All right, here's another way to help out our PTA and get a yum meal. This Thursday, March 30th, is Tiger Family Night at the Red Robin in Covington.
Yes.
You and your family can order online and pick up, or go to Red Robin and mention the Shadow Lake fundraiser. 20% of your family's bill will go back to our Shadow Lake PTA. More information about online ordering and the flyer is available on Tiger Family News. And speaking of yum, Mr. Abby, what's on the lunch menu this week?
All right, unfortunately, we don't have Red Robin on the lunch menu, but here is the lunch menu. Today is cheesy pull-aparts. Tuesday, chicken nuggets. Wednesday, corn dog. Thursday, super nachos, and then you can go to Red Robin. And then on Friday, we have pizza! All right, Tigers, again, we wanted to remind you about the chocolate milk, not bringing those outside. That needs to stay inside. If you're gonna go outside for any reason to bring milk, you need to make sure that you only bring white milk. So important for 4th and 5th graders out in the courtyard, and then K through 5 if you're gonna be bringing it out to the playground.
Yeah, that chocolate milk stains the sidewalks and the blacktop. All right, we're gonna recognize some of our amazing Tigers for earning their Tiger Paw tickets and that were selected in this week's drawing. For kindergarten, we have Luke in Mrs. Stamp's class, Jude in Mrs. Hurley's class, Daphne in Mrs. Belmondo's class, and Savannah in Mrs. K's class.
All right, moving on to 1st grade. Whitley, you're the winner in Mrs. Roberts' room. Kaysen, you're the winner in Mrs. Hanson's class. Kyron, you're the winner in Miss Yassine's class. Lila, you're the winner in Ms. LeClesh's room. And then Lincoln, congratulations, you were selected in Mrs. Nelson's class.
Nice job, 1st graders. Moving on to 2nd grade. We have Levi in Mrs. Kortenkamp's class, Paxton in Mrs. Kemp's room, Oakley in Mrs. Shireman's room, and Isabella in Mrs. Meek's class.
All right, here are our 3rd grade winners. We have another Isabella. So Isabella in Mrs. Boyle's room. Ellie, you're the winner in Mr. McMaster's class. Rosalind, you're the winner in Miss McGowan's room. And then Joshua, congratulations, you won in Ms. Mazzatelli's classroom.
Nice job, 3rd graders. On to 4th grade. We have Niall in Mrs. Bradley's class, Bree LV in Mrs. Moffat's room, and Ethan in Mrs. Isley's class.
And last but not least, 5th grade. Here are our winners. Colby, you're the winner in Mr. K's room. Emma, you won in Mrs. Licious' room. And then Raquel, you're the winner in Mrs. McCutcheon's classroom.
All right, winners, when it's convenient for your teachers, they can send you to the office to pick up your prize from the Tiger Paw Treasure Chest. All right, Mr. Abby, what's going on with story time?
All right, today for story time, we have Mrs. Smith back, our Shadow Lake librarian, and she is reading a story called Sweetie.
Oh, I saw the cover of that book.
Yes.
It looks really
Yes.
interesting. All right, Tigers, we hope you all have a great week. Remember,
It's a great day to be a tiger.
Hey Tigers, welcome to Story Time. I'm Mrs. Smith, really excited to read another story. Today our story is called Sweetie, and this story is it was a Children's Choice award-winning picture book a couple years ago, and I thought it just is a cute story about friendship, and we always need reminders about how to be good friends, right? So this is Sweetie, written by Andrea Zuhl. All right, let's see if I can get this all in here. Sweetie was awkward, even for a naked mole rat. And at the bottom it says, please note that naked mole rats are born without fur, but not without the love of clothes. The illustrator is grateful for this, since she didn't have to draw a bunch of highly embarrassing pictures. Her own grandmother called her a square peg. Sweetie didn't exactly know what that meant. She says, well, aren't you Grandma's little square peg? She's like, But she did know that she didn't always fit in. Sweetie could be intense. So it starts out here. My doll's name is Ellie. She likes cupcakes. My doll is David. My grandma gave him to me. This is Sunshine. She wants to be a doctor. Who's your doll, Sweetie? And now this is Sweetie. This is Warrior Princess Zorna, friend of the friendless, destroyer of evil, lover of chocolate beet cake with cream cheese frosting. Her favorite color is aubergine, and my mom made her for me. And people found her hobbies a bit bizarre. Would you like to come over to my house and help me identify fungi? He's like, no, thank you. Occasionally, Sweetie did things that others had a hard time comprehending, like the day she gave her book report through interpretive dance. So here she is dancing out her story. And they're all like, what book is this? There were times when Sweetie wondered what it would be like to be someone else, someone like Deb. Deb always said the right thing and had stylish friends. Best of all, she had beautiful hair. Sweetie wanted hair like Deb's. Here's Deb's hair. It's like literally one strand with a bow on it. She thought maybe she should try a wig. Then there were times when Sweetie just felt like being Sweetie. Just hanging out in her bedroom, doing what she likes to do, reading books. The best days were when Aunt Ruth visited. Aunt Ruth understood Sweetie perfectly. She didn't think Sweetie's hobbies were weird. There they are, studying fungi. Really, not a single one. There they are doing interpretive dance. I love it. Sweetie and her aunt loved going through old family photo albums. Sweetie especially liked the pictures of her mom and her aunt when they were her age. On her most recent visit, Aunt Ruth talked about how she was called a square peg when she was young. Sweetie was starting to understand what that meant. Aunt Ruth said that being different was one of the best things about her life, and that if you stayed true to yourself, you'd find your people. That made Sweetie think. Were there really people out there for her? How would they recognize her? How would she recognize them? Was there a secret handshake she'd have to learn? She really hoped there was a secret handshake. Sweetie wondered how many times she'd been close to one of her people and not known it. What if she stepped it up a notch? Would her people be able to spot her more easily? She's got a bullhorn. My name is Sweetie. I like dancing, mushrooms, and rainy days. You too? Need to find your people? Maybe we're a match. Flyers are available. Here she's got like a whole little wagon behind her. Sweetie! And fireworks. Or would she just seem desperate? For now, she'd trust Aunt Ruth, continue to do her favorite things, and be herself. And maybe she'd try a couple of new hobbies just for fun. So she's trying crocheting, baking. After all, being Sweetie wasn't so bad. Oh, they're beautiful. She's admiring the big mushrooms. In fact, it could be pretty awesome. Well, aren't you a fuzzy little caterpillar? And who knew when someone else pretty awesome might come along? Oh my gosh, isn't that the cutest little caterpillar? My name is Sandy. Your shirt is wonderful. I wouldn't mind having a shirt with a mushroom on it. I love mushrooms. My favorite is the Gyromitra esculenta. It looks like a brain. Hi, Sandy. My name's Sweetie. Would you like to learn a secret handshake? Yes, thank you. And there we are. There is Sweetie. Did she find her people? She did. So it's a story about friendship, but it's really a story about just being who you are, right? So if you like certain things, you're going to find other people that like the same things as you. So Be true to yourself. Be a good friend. Be open to trying new things. And remember, it's always a great day to be a tiger.